All right, guys, here we are tonight. Uh, this is going to be phenomenal. I hope you guys are ready for this one. I guess we're gonna call this the debut of the Don't Be a Dick podcast with my man Big Worm here.
What
Jeremy,
up?
welcome to the forum. We're gonna call it. We'll start off by calling it that right now. We'll
You
call
can
this.
call it whatever you want. I'm gonna say, don't be a dick.
Don't Be a Dick is the theme here, and that's that's all we're about right now. I love it.
Yes.
So I guess we're on a crossover here between Shamrock Sports, uh, Don't Be a Dick podcast, yourself. You've been putting a bunch of videos out there. Love it. You're making the day move, man. Every day, people like to see that. Explain where the idea comes from.
Oh man. A lot of people, my friends would know. Like I put up hashtags, posts, things like that. I generally try to be a positive person and push the envelope. Sometimes it's not as easy as just be like, hey, be positive, be a good guy, be whatever. Like there's times when it's like, all right, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Like, it could be one of those times where it's just so easy to like, all right, like I'm gonna be a dick right now.
Yep.
And it's not easy to choose the other path. Just getting up in the morning. Some people get up, need some time to get going. Some people get up and both feet the ground and they're out running. You don't really know where the day is going to go or how it's going to go, but how you react to things, you can have more control over. Obviously, we're not spring chickens. We been at this
Agreed.
life game for a hot minute.
Agreed.
So it does come with a little bit of time, and this does put into the play of that part where how you react to stuff. When you're younger, I think we all jump to react. When you get older, it's like, wait a minute, I could think about this for a minute before I actually react to it.
I'm in that zone right now, and it's tough to turn it around like that. You know what I mean? But you slow it down, like you said, as you get older, and you realize why you're about to be a dick, and it's not worth it. That's what you gotta foreshadow and have made this error before. But
Slowing it down as we get older is like an understatement of the year.
right, yeah, no doubt. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you're right. You're 100% right, though. A lot of the stuff, I'd say at least 90% of the things when I was 21, I would walk away from now. You know what I mean? And not be that dick.
No, and at that point in time, it was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is going to be great.
Yep.
And then it's not great. It's not what you were supposed to do.
There's no payoff. Yeah, there was no payoff. It didn't advance me anything.
Nope. Actually, when I paused right there and I took a sip, I need a don't be a dick.
Yeah, yes, 100%. I agree. I absolutely agree.
I just took a sip. I was like, ooh, that's the spot. Like some people have the middle finger down there. I think that's great too.
As we go on, things. So it's great. I really think you really hit gold with this because as I'm thinking all day today, like I sent you in the message, I think a lot of the problems or like the drama that people go through can be solved or explained as they could have been avoided if you weren't a dick. Yeah. I think that there's scenarios that.
And there's usually both sides to it. Like when you're about to be a dick to somebody, like someone's usually being a dick. Like we
yes.
I can't stress this enough. We're in wild times, man, and we could use some less be a dick.
Yes.
Like, don't be a dick.
Yep. Like, it's really simple, and it's not even like we want to normalize it so that you're not putting your pride away. You're just not being a dick. It's not like
it's cool to be a nice guy. Let's try that for a little bit.
Yes. It's cool to be cool, man. Like, let's go. Enough of this shit.
Yeah.
Some guy, it is what it is. I mean, we spoke on a bunch of topics today.
Yes.
Antonio Brown. Let's start with that one because I think it's very interesting. It's like, and I actually have violated it, and I'm actually against myself. I posted the meme immediately, and I didn't know. I had no idea, but it was funny. You know what I mean? But I guess
when he first walked off, everybody in the world was like, "Wow, this is him being him and doing his thing," because he's got a little bit of a track record here. But like, who really know? Like, none of us are in his head. Nobody knows what he's going through and what he thinks. You know, like, and having a little bit more of the story come out is like, oh, all right, maybe some people jumped the gun on that one. Like,
might jump the gun on that one is exactly right. But
let's go with too soon on most of those memes.
Oh yeah, way too soon. Way too soon. That's no doubt. But it was, the picture itself was funny. The meme. I mean, that social media is really the devil of these days. But it was funny. You know what I mean? And it's not funny to laugh at mental health. No, and I don't really believe solely that it was mental health. You know, just because it was on a big forum, a big stage, and got that picture doesn't mean that he's crazy. He's fine. He was at a basketball game the next night.
The only part that I thought was weird, he took some shots at Tom Brady, and if I'm not mistaken, like Tom was like letting him stay in his house so he could play down there and stuff. Like, I don't know. That was a weird flex on that one.
Now that's another interesting part of the whole thing. He turns his back, like really sells everybody out the minute he leaves town, and he can't really say anything bad about Brady. Brady really has kept him in the league. Basically, I don't know if he would have been back in the league if it wasn't for Brady. So that is being a dick.
With them, like,
that's part of the scenario. Don't be a dick. Don't sell people out that had you back. But as far as his attitude towards the media and the fans, who really gives a shit? You know what I mean? It wasn't even that bad. It was nothing. He didn't really do anything. He took his gear off and left. Bang. See you later. We got a couple of pictures. So
like again, I don't know. Like, there's people that say he got fired on the sidelines and was like, "You'll never play again," and he was like, "I'm not taking that. I'll walk off now." I wasn't there. I don't know. We can all believe our own stories, but like at the end of the day, he reacted to a situation. Some people reacted to the situation he did.
Exactly.
And it was wild.
Now Bruce Arians, they claim that he said, if you're not going back in the game with a broken ankle, you're cut. That's being a dick. You can't.
That's like if all the stuff. I mean, like, there's got to be text messages. If he was sending him as well as some of the trainers there, like, my ankle's messed up, middle of the game, like, hey, I can't go on, you know, and being told, like, if you don't go back on, you're cut. Like, it's not taking care of your players. That's being a dick.
Being a dick. You can get fined for that. Now on the other side, if he just freaked out and left his team on the field, which I guess it hasn't been proved that that's been the case, then but that is being a dick. If you leave your team, you know what I mean? Even if your ankle's hurt, you still say and cheer him on, whatever, you know, but leaving the field is definitely being a dick.
Your ankle's hurt, you go through an argument, you like, not how many people in your grown life in football have you watched, like, just walk off the field, like, I'm done? Like, that's not something a lot of people can say they saw. Right? I'm not. Have we even saw that before?
No, not in this fashion. Not doing jumping jacks, pumping up the crowd. And listen, people can say he's crazy, but look at it. We have McKenna. If McKenna was a football player, would you be shocked if he did jumping jacks off the field? No. Yeah, like, it's just just because it's on a larger scale, who cares?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Antonio Brown's in his zone. He's more than welcome back with the Pats. He's got heart. Sometimes he has a bad day. And then we all have it. So
I'm interested to see if someone picks him up. There's been some players that have done some stunts and then they don't get picked up. There's some other players that teams look at them as still valuable and pick them up afterwards. So I'm interested to see where that goes.
I think Josh Gordon is on, like, second chance number 19, I believe.
Yes. Everybody's like, I mean, he's tough, but he's a good player. Okay.
He can help us now. No, money talks, man. And you know what I mean? People want to win, and if he's willing to do it, I mean,
he's going to be back in like 3 weeks. So let's get him while the game's good.
No doubt. You know what? I believe it was. It actually was in my memories today. Did my recap of the year when they got rid of Antonio Brown, the Pats, Then at the end of the season, I said, all right, we all know what the problem is. Bring Antonio Brown back or don't come back at all. Like, yeah. He was nasty the couple games he played here. He was phenomenal, but hey, mental health is also a problem. So we don't want to, we're not making a joke of it. The way it went down is different. They're all blaming the Montesi perfect hit for Antonio Brown's action. CTE
at the end of the day, and mental health issues, like if he needs help, or like anybody watching this, if you need to reach out to somebody, reach out to somebody. Like if you need someone to talk to, like it's a very, very serious thing. That's not something to be joked around about. Like, you said, like, some of the memes came in real hot. Like at the end of the day, like none of us know which direction that guy's in. Like if he needs help, like someone needs to help him.
Yeah, no doubt. And he's had access. He's never been, I don't know his money situation, but I think he got screwed when he was younger too. A lot of these guys did, and NFL is a known business. They haven't taken care of their players with, CTE and all the older players. They kind of hang out to dry. I know it's getting better. People are more working towards awareness and all that now.
You want to talk about not taking care of your teams? UFC, baby. Dana White. He's getting called out.
So this is a great topic, man. Another great topic of a lot of people being dicks and not being dicks. It actually transfers into boxing too. The whole Jake Paul versus Dana White and Logan Paul versus Dana White thing is a great topic.
I was waiting for it because that's what he's calling him out for. Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I kind of, these brothers are real arrogant. I'm on the fence of whether I'm a fan of what they're doing. I just like, they're so arrogant that I can't like get behind them. Like
I am now a fan, and it's exactly about what we're talking about. I think it was Logan. They're bringing awareness to how shitty these fighters who put their life on the line and do the work actually paid. The Paul brothers have unlimited money. They're making money while me and you are sitting there right now. They're probably both whatever they're doing. They're punks. Maybe that's how people look at them, like YouTube punks. I think that is the general consensus. But what they're doing is bringing awareness to the fighters themselves. So the fighters themselves, I think, have to really look at what's happening. These guys.
If at the end of this, if the fighters get raises at the end of this, then I stand behind being like, okay, they made a difference. They came in. But I also have to like. Jake Paul's obviously good at marketing himself. Like,
no doubt. No, well, so is in Conor McGregor, and so is in Floyd Mayweather, and so is in fucking. The Paul brothers are on the fighter's side. The Paul brothers now. I'm not saying that was their intent, because their intent was few.
I feel like they saw more of a marketing opportunity than they did like, hey, we're gonna lead this charge. It was like, no, we saw an opportunity, so here we are. Like, and they're doing like everybody's favorite rapper back in the day picked like the latest and greatest and was like, all right, I'm gonna rap battle him. Like they went after, like, I'm seeing memes of like Dana being Kingpin and like having these little guys, like these little YouTubers. They're not little YouTubers.
Right.
Like these are people that marketed, branded themselves, and did a great job in that aspect. And went, all right, who's next? Who's next? And if they're going to be in the fight game, like, is there someone better to square off against? I mean, they could try Joe Rogan, but I think Joe Rogan would get in the ring and ruin them.
I would love it. I'm mad that hasn't happened, but that guy's a zillionaire, man. Joe Rogan is a marketing genius to the max, and everything that he's done, unbelievable for where he's at today, And he's probably, he probably could have.
These are good. Cheers. Well, I'm having some cider. I'm having some whiskey. I'm actually, so a friend of mine from work got me a little kit. So I got some, we'll see if that will actually, some mash.
Yep. Copper Fox.
So we're going to age some. I got some junk in the trunk there.
I like it.
Well, everything from like little wood chips to coffee beans to cinnamon, some orange peels. So like it started clear. I put it in there like an hour and a half ago. I don't know if you can see like it's starting to turn color already.
Yeah. We can't read the label. Is the label blank?
So the other side, like I gotta fill out the label.
Oh, okay, all right. I was just saying it's blank. That's all. Just so and so that's Copper Fox too.
Yeah, like I got that because there's not many mashes out there. So
Okay.
like, so in order to age it, like I got a barrel in the other room. I got one of the oak barrels. So you want mash. You can take some like and put it in there and continue to age it. But it's if you're going to actually like try and create your own flavor, like I can put this in there with what I put it in there and then write out the ingredients. If it's 2 weeks or a month, so the smaller barrels you put them in, there's more contact. Like depending on how much wood I put in there, is how fast it would take on the flavor profile. I get the barrel I have is like a 2 gallon, so like a bottle of 2 isn't going to get me there.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get a larger amount of mash and then do it that way over in the barrel as well because I like what that does. I take some cheaper whiskeys and put them in there for a month or 2 right now and kind of change them up. But
your top whiskey right now, any it doesn't matter price, anything right now. If at the end of the world, you get 1 bottle left, you get 1 bottle to die with. What are you picking?
I don't give a shit. I'll try them all.
I love it. I like it. I like it.
I'm realistic. Yeah, I go in and like try and buy a new bottle every couple of weeks to try something. I do like obviously there's some that I go back to. Jameson tends to be something that's always on my shelf. Bullet Bourbon's been one, but a lot of these
Bullet. A lot of people like Bullet.
But a lot of these places buy whiskey from someone else and then re-age it, like we were just talking about.
Yep.
Or they buy the mashes, like they don't actually do the distilling and things like that. So like if you're into whiskey, like when I first like it wasn't that long ago I started like researching whiskey. Like I'm not telling you I'm a seasoned vet by any means. I like to drink.
Oh yeah, right. No, don't backpedal now, man. Really?
Yeah.
Once you're talking about your own barrel, you're a seasoned veteran. That's it. That's the bottom line.
It's a hobby. I have fun with it. I like to drink it.
Phenomenal.
It gives me a good time. It helps me not be a dick.
So, yeah, I love it. There it is. Absolutely love it. And you know, as you get older, man, you need something. You know what I mean? Like,
yes. I need to get my ass back in the gym. Like that was actually probably the best stress relief ever. Like, but it's a thing, and yeah, that needs.
Where were you in Bay State or?
I was across the street.
Okay. Are you going back in now? Are there any gyms you want to shout out? Because I mean,
I donate to a couple. Prime's one that I pay. I could show back
Prime. Here we go. See the bit. Bam! There it is. Wildfire. That guy, Dave Blondin, right?
Mm-hmm.
He battled the
Full Town.
Yep. He didn't go down. He didn't give in, man. I don't know if you ever paid the fines, but he never gave in to the.
If you kept up with the story, I'm pretty sure he did well with that whole end the game because at the end of the day, he wasn't actually breaking laws. Like
right. Are you kidding? That guy's a hero for the way he went about that, man. I mean, I'm not a gym goer, but I mean the way he went about keeping his business open and everything like that. I love it.
It falls into everything we're talking about right now.
Right.
Like people that go to the gym, there are a lot of them. Like people go to church. Some of them need to go to church because it's something that they need as a release. People go to the gym like that's something they need. You want to talk about mental health. Take somebody that has a rhythm of trying to take care of themselves and be like, no, you can't no more.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Right. And it does, man. I'll tell you a lot of, like I said, I'm not a gym goer, but I've tried, a few times. I've had my stints, but mental health was the big payoff of all of it. The way you feel after you work out and everything, you're right. That it is a lifestyle. And, people do certain things to get themselves normal, but working out and all that. I mean, the government was a dick. They didn't
Yeah, I mean, I
even,
don't care what it is that you do. Like everybody has a thing that they do. Like, and
right?
if that's what you do to have your like, there are people that are. I mean, you know, a lot of people are pro guns, anti gun, this, that, whatever. But like, if some people's release is like going out and shooting off some rounds, like that's your thing. If it's not, he's ready to come back in. So if you know, like, it doesn't matter what your thing is. Like, you have a thing, you know, and if it's what helps you be in a better mood, like someone
Everybody
else
has a thing.
yeah,
Everybody.
they shouldn't be able to take that away from you.
It does. See, it doesn't happen for me. You know what I mean? And like Dave Blondin, man, we'll give him another shout. That's Prime Fitness in Oxford, right?
Yep.
My good friend Leah Burbeck is a weightlifter trainer. She does shows.
That's awesome.
But she loves that. But she was one of his biggest advocates. Shout to Leah. She does well. I think she gets in all the the bodybuilding competitions and everything. But that was her mental. I think
people that do that go through some things with their bodies that none of us will understand that don't do it.
yeah, no, she posted it. I think she's off Facebook right now, but when she was going through it, training, she did it all on her own. She did, and it was like you said, mental health that kept her going. Training and what they go through is pretty crazy. Like their diet, the dedication, scheduling. You know, like how do you get it done having a full-time job with having a kid to raise too and all that? And
it gets wild, but like, and I can sit here and tell you I don't go to the gym, but like I went for a period of time, and finding the time throughout the course of the day when you're doing it, it's just like anything else. Like I like me a good cigar, I like whiskey. Like you find the time for it. You know, like to go to the gym, you don't need to be there for 17 hours to get a good workout in. You go there, you can get a workout in 15 minutes, 20 minutes if you plan it before you get there.
yep.
I've been on the excuse bus for years. Like, and I'm not trying to tell anybody I don't have time, this, that, whatever. But like, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I'll continue to say it. I got to get my ass back in the gym or at least working out. I have not turned that motivation on yet, but hopefully at some point.
What you have on your side is old man strength. Like you're a large individual. So what comes that is large individual old man strength. Like as you get older, you still always have the ability to put a man through a table or a window or a wall.
Yes.
But it's
don't be a dick.
Don't be a. That's it. That's the bottom line. There's the right there, baby. The bottom line, old man wisdom, Viking wisdom, right?
You can basically use that shit for everything.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm telling. I went through scenario. Every scenario can be avoided by at some point in the story, someone not being a dick. Like,
what's the commercial? You can put that shit on everything.
Frank's.
I can't. Frank's Red Hot. You put that shit on everything. Don't be a dick. You can put that shit in everything. Like
in every single scenario, you can sprinkle a little bit in there somewhere, no matter what. Like you look at, I'm talking about the history of man. You know, in every issue that's ever been, at some point, somebody in that scenario was a dick to make it drama, and all it could have been avoided. It could have been avoided. We love that.
I'm not. People out there watching Yellowstone, like. One of the lines I like that was basically like, there's always a choice. Like you always have a choice. Old man was saying it to Jamie when he was in not such a great spot, but he's basically like, you know, you always have a choice. Like maybe good, maybe bad, but the choice is yours, and you always have one. Like so.
You always have one, but at that point, you know, I think your confidence level as a man dwindles as you get older because you're like, this just isn't worth it. I know I can do it. I know I can win this argument right now. I know I can end everything, but is it worth it in the end? No, it never has been. It doesn't ever pay off. Save your energy. Don't be that dick. Walk away, and next day you wake up and it's over. It's gone. Your brain can only like download so much fucking data, and that's gone because it doesn't mean anything. But
absolutely.
Man, don't be a dick is it's going D-bad is unbelievable. And
So
the hashtag D-bad doesn't exist. It doesn't even exist yet. So
I used it the other day, and actually in a group chat for my work. If you guys don't know, I work at Solar Wolf Energy. If you're looking to see what solar can do for you, please reach out.
big shout. Love it.
Yeah, either to me directly or my work. But one of my coworkers actually put the DBAD, like, and someone else was like, "What's that?" I was kind of chuckling because I was like, "I'm pretty sure he's putting in like, don't be a dick into with the conversation." And it happened, and I was like, "Oh, that was organic, and it was wonderful." Like,
I usually type them in and it comes up like, and I think I know I told you about the podcast and everything, but D-bad, hashtag D-bad does not exist yet. It does now. So I mean, I guess it's the digital footprint. You invented it. It's there. We got.
If anybody makes it to my Facebook at any point in time, I have a couple of hashtags, like, and a lot of them House of Pain related. One of them's Outcast.
Yep.
The other, like, I fire Rise in China all the time. Like, Shine's my cousin. He's been my ride or die since day one. He's older than me, and if he watches this, I hope he knows he's older than me. So
shout.
No, but he's always been there for me and shit like that. So that's kind of where my tags come from, is music in my life. I'm actually surprised I don't have a Too Short and LL Cool J, but Mama Said Knock You Out is probably more being a dick than I
don't know. I mean, he announces that he's been in for years. That right there eliminates you from being a dick, because you're announcing what you're about to do. So we let it ride. So music, man. Plenty of instances of people being a dick or choosing not to be a dick. I don't know. So House of Pain, are you Everlast or are you House of Pain?
Both. I there ain't one without the other.
All right, I get that. I mean, I'm on board.
I'm a Danny Boy fan too. Like, I actually was reintroduced a little bit when Punky Brewster did her she had a little clip a little movie thing not too long ago.
Fry.
Yeah. So I didn't know
Soleil, I guess.
I didn't know that her and Danny Boy were a thing, like, way back when.
I was today years old. I didn't know that either. Man.
She came up with a movie, and I kind of had him in it and a bunch of other people. I think she's with the dude from the Butterfly song now. Like,
Echo?
You know who I'm talking about?
Or Shifty.
No, the Butterfly song. Like,
yeah. Shifty is the original dude. Echo
yeah,
is the new one.
I think he's with Punky Brewster. Look it up. Tell me if I'm wrong. Like, somebody comment, whatever. Like,
the Punky Brewster's in with that dude. It was Crazy Town, which is
yes.
That's Shifty. The new guy that did the new version right now is Echo, EKOH. It's phenomenal.
All right. I don't know which version. I don't actually. I'll take my statement back. I don't know which dude she's with out of those scenarios, but she's with one.
It could be either, because I think Echo is like 25-ish, or he's got to be like around that age. So
yeah, and I mean,
now he's getting a cougar, but the other guy is probably her senior. I don't know. Shifty had some issues. He was on VH1. Remember the rehab show they had on there? On VH1. Yes. Dennis Rodman was on. What the hell was the name of that show? Either way, he was on that show before. I remember that dude. Shifty is a beast, though. The new one's really good.
I thought it was wild when they're continuing to come out with, like, that song was real good. And I don't know any of their other songs for Crazy Town. Like, I know I've listened to a couple of the other ones.
I'm not sure they have another one. I don't even. that was enough. It made it to a remix that still made it living in 2021. So,
I like me some music, and like when you start going down the music, everybody I feel like has like a soundtrack to their life. Like
Yes.
that whole like when you were 15, 16, when you were 21 to 25, when you were 25 to 30, and then above. And it's fun now that like in your 40s, it's like you listen to oldies, like what? Like, no, I
Yeah.
listen to the pioneers. Like, no, that's the same shit your parents said to you.
Oh
Like,
yeah, exactly, dude. It's identical, and you understand, as you go on, music. Some of the shit out there today, just you're like, what the fuck? I think that is a legit thing. Like my dad used
which
to say
is
the
weird.
same
Like,
thing, man.
well, you remember bringing rap home to your house? Like your
It's the
parents were like, "What
same
is this
thing.
shit?" Now it's happening all over again. But like, it's like, well, no, it's still rap. No, it
No,
ain't.
it ain't even close. It ain't even close. Um,
I'm
but
thankful for like the heavy metal crossovers. Like, dude, I'm still one of the 6 people that like Limp Bizkit. Don't tell anybody.
I was just coming with that as the next subject, man. I was coming with that the snacky poo. That's our jam, man. That's our check it out. Snacky poo by Limp Bizkit. Phenomenal
It's,
beat, right?
yeah,
It's a party jam.
if you've missed it, like they actually like kind of secretly dropped a whole nother album, and I kind of dig it. Like
Yeah.
if you like their real rock stuff, there's some in there. If you like their like crossover stuff, there's some in there. I'm like, all right, so they kind of went back to the roots, which I was like, all right, like, and realistically, I feel like Limp Bizkit's kind of done that the whole time, like $3 bill stuff. Like there's some like rappy in there, and there's some like real heavy metal.
Fred Durst was
I like,
considered a rapper. I mean,
yeah,
well, I
yeah,
don't know who considered it, but I know that it's been talked about once, I think I heard, but still, he's legitimately a rapper. I mean,
yeah. I don't know. I know, like, so I put it up on my Facebook not too long ago when they actually dropped it, and I was like, hey, like for anybody that don't know, like they have a new one, and that's when we started listening to that song. And I actually got a lot of people like, dude, you're not alone. Like,
oh my God. Shout out to James Keenan. He's a Worcester guy. He used to work at Applebee's. I believe he has Fred Durst tattoos. Big Limp Bizkit fan.
awesome.
I don't know. I don't know if he's still in the game, but I think he's got to be if he's got the tattoo. So
They they just like when they were doing like the pop-up block parties and shit like that, like it was, I don't know. I mean, maybe I just didn't know other people were doing it, but that was wild.
me and my buddy Jesse have one regret in our entire life musically, concert wise, the Napster concert. We
Oh
had
boy.
tickets left for us and we didn't go. And
Oh.
to this day, whenever we talk about music, man, we really fucked up. Someone left us
Yeah,
ticket. Napster.
should have went.
Should have went, no doubt. I would free for no reason. And but do you remember the whole Napster scene too? That's another solid subject for people
Yeah,
our age.
I smashed a whole computer because of Napster.
Many.
I was so afraid that I was gonna get a bill for all the songs I downloaded.
You thought the FBI had your address, your zip, everything. I mean,
There was no doubt.
these kids will never know.
Uh, my buddy Brooks, he's in Florida. We lived together for a while. The computer was on constant download. It wasn't like, hey, download a couple of songs. Like
Yeah.
I'd get up in the morning and queue up like 50, 60 songs. He'd get up, queue up another 50, 60. We'd come home to the apartment. There'd be kids in there partying, queuing up more songs to download. Like I can't even, like 20s of 50s of hundreds of thousands. I can't even tell you how much music was on that computer when it was like, hey, it's like piracy and you're gonna get charged per song.
Was it
Like,
a gateway?
Smash on. No, I want to say I still had a Dell back. No, compact. I had a compact. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was limited back then. It wasn't like gateway. You had 100 songs going at all time.
Do you want to bring it back? Like my dad worked at digital. Like
that's digital. Pretty much was the original, right?
move
we
to
burned
compact.
CDs,
Like,
man.
I thought, and granted, like I enjoy my compact computers, but like I was a big fan of them because like my dad ended up working there, and I was like, all right, like they must be the shit. Like
No doubt, man. The the art of burning CDs. If you were
Yeah.
the guy that could burn the CD for the party on Friday, you were the man for a little bit. There was an era for that.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I burnt my share of CDs.
burn, kids,
Shout
burn.
out to the bottoms up crew, like Shrewsbury Street. Like, wow,
Uh,
we we
bottoms
burnt
up.
burnt a lot of CDs for that place. Like, it was crazy.
Rocco and
That,
Bursey, were they there when you were there? That was old school AF, I think, when Bottoms Up was there. Who owned it when you worked there? Tariq or
no, it was Jeff and Halvey.
Jeff?
They the guys.
The
You know,
guys. Yep, the guys.
and if they watch this, man, shout out. Like, that place was great.
Yeah,
And,
oh, yeah,
it was
oh,
a lot
yeah.
of fun. It was a lot of fun for a lot of people, and some of the best days I'll never remember.
That that's not being a dick. That's just being honest. Sorry, guy. I know we've met before. I just don't remember it. And that at that
You look
moment.
familiar. You look familiar. Like, no, dude, I spent 4 hours with you the other night. Like, no, that was the other guy.
Oh, I
You
remember.
look
How do you
like
spell
me.
your first name again? That's it. That's how you get rid of. That's how you get rid of that whole anxiety.
The move's like, hey, did you meet my buddy over here?
Yeah, yes. These are the people we just gave you 2 moves on how to get the name. That's it. We're not giving any more out.
Yeah, no, there's a couple.
Yep. No doubt, man. Everyone's got them. But that, man,
Take a picture. Send it to me.
Worcester was different. In the bottom, obviously, the whole world was different. But in the bottoms up era, man, Worcester was bar city. Like, I know there's a lot of bars now, but everybody was allowed in them back then. There was no capacity. Everybody was out on a Friday night, So we're living in different
the people
times.
that were supposed to be talking about the capacity were out with you. So
Yes,
like
yes.
it was a different thing.
Exactly. COVID and life, it really did just change our entire lives. Whether we want to believe it, whether we want to exist with it, or whether we whatever, it's changed everything. No matter what, it's just not the same. Masks.
You know how I know you're getting old? You know how I know you're getting old? Because you're saying shit like that. Like,
but I mean,
back in my day, I used to walk to school barefoot, uphill, both ways. Like,
and now it was, I used to be allowed out without a mask. It's changed since that. I mean,
one of my favorite stories is it was like a dad blog I read a long time ago, and the guy's like, he bought the house on a cul-de-sac because they were about to raise a family. He's talking about, like, my kid's gonna play baseball out here. He's gonna run out in the woods the whole nine, and then like they have the kid, and then like years later, kid's 9, 10, and he's like, all right, like, it's time to watch the Goonies. Anybody doesn't know out there, I'm a Goonie. Goonies never say die.
yeah.
But like, so he's like, all right, like, my son needs to watch the Goonies, and he starts watching the Goonies, and they get deep into the movie. The kid turns around, looks at his dad. He's like, where are their parents? And it like dawned on him. He's like, man, like, if the neighbor's kid came over without his parents, I'd be like, they're bad parents. Like, we don't do anything. Like, it's always supervised. I'm like, all right, we're gonna go on a play date, and the kids can't be out of our sight. Like, I got on my bike and took off. And when I say took off, like, I lived in Northborough when it was like where I was riding BMXs and all this stuff. Like, we go to Westboro, Marlboro, Hudson. Like, I'm on a bicycle. Like, we're going to like other towns to play basketball. Like, what? Like, or trying to have your buddy pick you up. Like, dude, like, will my bike fit in your car? Like, because I'm gonna need to get home later. Like if you can get me there, I'll get home. Or
Yep. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, hopefully somebody had a pickup truck. Like, we're throwing all the bikes in. You're the guy. Like,
yeah. It's sad. It doesn't exist anymore. I mean, it does to a point. I guess, I bitch about a lot of stuff that I don't see personally every day. So I think it would make a difference too if you're in that environment too. So take it with a grain of salt. Maybe things are a little bit more normal than we all believe, because we don't see them close up every day. You know, we pick our own things, and
I would like to believe that there are still like people out there blazing their own path, and it's not just at home. But at the same time, like we live in different times, so maybe it is different. Maybe we grew up where it was like, all right, like see ya, heading out for the day, and maybe that's not okay no more. I don't know. I don't have the answers.
right.
And like as far as being a parent, like I don't, I got nothing.
Yeah.
When it really comes out to there, like there's no playbook for it. Everybody that's doing it, I salute you. Like, like it's not like you, like I said, it's not like you just read some blog like, oh, okay, that's what you're supposed to do. Like,
Right,
no,
right. Yeah, you got to take it all in. But I don't think it's not as bad as people think. You know, we're gonna live through it, and actually, we don't have a choice. You know what I mean? Like COVID exists, but we don't have a choice, man. The only choice that we have right now to make is really to go to work or not go to work if you have symptoms, right? I think that's really what's messing the whole world up, man, because a whole lot of people not going to work because they don't want to infect someone else because they're scared. They don't want to be the people to pass it on, and so on. And that cycle that's not fair to anybody.
so we run into a flip side of this, and this is amusing to me on some levels, and it is what it is on others. I've had people ask, like straight up be like, I'm sick, but I don't have COVID. Like, like I'm actually sick. I have something, but I have a negative test on COVID. Like, should I still go to work?
Yep.
No. Like, you're like, no. Like, if you have, like, nobody wants your nothing.
Right.
Like it, we as a people, like the media has pushed an agenda. Like, if you don't have COVID, you're fine. That's not necessarily the case. Like, if you have a cold, like, do you want everybody at work to get it? Probably
Exactly.
not.
You know, I had the COVID test. It came back negative, and the thing was, I had symptoms or I had something. They don't. That's it. If you're not COVID positive, they don't care what you have.
You
That's a
know,
problem. That's a
like,
problem in itself right there. You're gone. Like, so, you know, I don't know. There's just a lot of responsibilities that come with it that aren't clear. So you got people
there's
that
another side is like somebody runs into somebody that's sick, and it's like, all right, like you don't have symptoms, you're not feeling sick, but someone you knew last weekend you hung out with is sick now. Like, so now, like, you stay home. I don't know what the answer is,
and
but
it's tougher for people our age because we were taught, me and you were taught to play through injury, go to work when you're sick. If you can walk there, you can get there, right?
yeah,
But now we go there and we get someone sick, that person dies, and then now we're on an island. Like,
like,
you're on an island, yeah. No one's got your back being like, yeah, I taught him to fucking play hurt. I taught him to go to work sick. No one's got that side of your back. But you're playing, you know.
they do, they 100% do until something happens, and then it's like, oh no, I mean that.
I
Like,
didn't tell him
what?
that.
Like,
You know, it's just it's a there's too much of a gray area with it for it to be real to me. Because if it was that serious, it would be that set in stone that hey, you're not. If you even have a fucking if your nose runs for a minute, don't go to work. But
yeah.
you're not getting paid. Then that's how the economy is getting fucked up because no one's
This is, well, I was supposed to say there's a whole nother side to this because it's like that people have to stay home because these are the guidelines. We're being told what's right and what's wrong for everybody's safety. And ultimately, like, people's safety is important. Anybody that tells you your safety is not important, slap them, they're a dick.
go. Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
like,
Yes. And then people that can come in the form of your boss, someone above you that doesn't give a shit. Like if you go home and crash, you're not on their payroll no more, and you're in the ditch by yourself. So you gotta, you know, in the bottom positions, you gotta be strong enough to recognize that they don't care. So stay home, or you know, even
it's putting employers, employees, and everybody in a weird spot because, all right, if you're an employer and somebody comes in and is like, I was in contact with somebody with COVID, do I come to work? I'm supposed to tell you get tested, quarantine, and all this other stuff, right? Like there's a whole new guideline. But like, if I tell you to do all that, do I have to pay you? And do I have to pay you if you only have a positive response? Like, and it's like, well, the government will help out if this, if you dot this I, cross this T, and like make this X, you're good. But other than that, like you're on your own. And for most of the people out there, they're on their own. It's like, all right, there's like this much support. We're going to tell you, you probably shouldn't go to work. But if you can't afford to not go to work, don't go to work.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. That is the entire mess right there. And the fix is not even the answer. The answer is not the fix. It has to be more clear to the people that are working and to the employees. Every state is different. I mean, there's no really way. If people knew how to go about it, we all got to suck it up. If they're telling us that person's not going to get paid if they don't go to work, they got to go to work.
And that's where like our generation grew up. Like, hey, like you got a runny nose. Like, I mean, stay away from everybody, but like do your thing.
Yeah.
You make sure you eat a bunch of vitamin C, the whatever miracle whatever of the week was, and like, all right, so like I'm gonna load up on some chicken noodle soup. I'm gonna be okay. Like
I'm fine.
I still have chicken noodle soup fixes everything. If you didn't know that,
it absolutely does. It absolutely does.
You got to have the right one, but it fixes everything. Like doesn't matter.
100% agree. It's just weird. The whole COVID thing. I mean, like I said too, it's stuff for people our age. We were taught just go. And it was tough to stay home from school when I was a kid. What's going on right now? Wouldn't have flown. And just go. And
I didn't stay home from school. I went out. I just didn't go to school.
Yeah. I left the premises. I was welcome back when school was up.
Yeah. Like I didn't stay home. It wasn't like, hey, I wanted a sick day. I wanted to go out. I just didn't want to go to school.
Yep.
I had things to do. People to see.
Times have changed, man. Times have changed. And that's the bottom line, man.
Like imagine like and granted, I don't know, like what I'm saying is real, is like not going to school a day, this, that, whatever. Like now, like if you're late, everybody's getting a phone call. Like, hey,
yes, they should. I mean, these kids are pretty much GPS. They all have phones. People know where they're at all times, and they should. Like I mean,
great.
The right people should not. But it's just totally different times. And the more we get older, we can get away with stuff when we were kids. You can't get away with anything anywhere anymore. You can't drive without insurance anymore.
Up on YouTube.
Yeah. No. To end up viral on YouTube. It will happen. Phenomenal, man. So, listen, we got an hour in, man. We'll chop it now. I'm saying this went phenomenal. We're gonna do it again. Don't Be a Dick podcast. Now, you're putting these Don't Be a Dick videos out every day, guy. People pay attention. Shamrock podcast page. They'll be posted every time. It's entertaining. It's positive. It's going to be something to look forward to.
Like, when this went off, like it was a conversation. Something happened the other day. Like it, there was a spark to it, and it must. In reality, anytime there's a spark to something, it's not always the best. It's not always whatever. So like, I'm not going to shed light into that actual the actual like here's an idea.
I get it.
So when it happened, it was like, you know what, like I'm gonna see where I can go with it, but like I want to do a year. I legit want to do like the 365.
Yeah.
See if I can. Well, so like two things happen. Like number one, I'm putting myself out there to do a video. And I'm gonna have to come up with shit to say with this. Like, so it's a challenge on another level. But the response to like the first one was just like overwhelming on my like everybody was like, that's fucking great. Like, dude, I just said don't be a dick. Like,
Yeah. And
like I thought it was gonna go over as like a joke, like, or like kind of like my post in the morning, rise and shine or whatever. But like,
yeah,
it was legit. Like everyone was like, you're right.
well, it's the answer to many problems. Like, just don't be a dick. Wake up
Yeah.
every day and don't be a dick. I mean, everyone's gonna think about it. You,
At least have the intention to not be a dick today. Like
right?
I
Yeah.
feel like people get caught so much up in their feels, like they're just having a day. Like it's like,
I'm
all
one
right,
of
like
them. I'm one of them. I'm guilty. Look at it.
it's it's super easy to be well, not to be negative. It's easy to get caught up. Like, all right, like fuck, like something doesn't go your way. As soon as one thing doesn't go your way, like your day is fucked. And that's
yeah.
for almost everybody out there. And it's like very easy to be like, all right, well, I mean, fuck me, and just like it's going sideways. So
There's a
sometimes you
second
need
gear.
to,
There's a
yeah,
second
sometimes you just need
gear
to,
that if you realize it, you can turn it into, and you realize that it's not that big of a deal, and you still have the rest of the day to make fucking awesome. You know what I mean?
yes.
Like, and I get caught in it, man. Early in the day, and whatever, even late in the day, man. Don't let it ruin your week. Don't let it ruin your month. Usually the scenario, but you should always talk to someone too.
I
What
got
the
like a
fuck?
floating head here.
What? Yeah, no shit. I was like, what the hell? He's going into graphics right now. God, but it doesn't even look real. What's happening here? Like, it's phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. So
I absolutely love that word, and I'm glad you brought it back to my vocabulary. I'll be using that at work tomorrow.
I can't even get away from it, man. And people call it out too. People have been like, "Yo, like amazing and phenomenal." I get called out for, but it's usually right there. I can't stop.
They're
I
real.
just can't stop.
Yeah, can't
But
stop, won't stop.
look at, man. I like that your goal was, you set a goal for yourself in 2022. I think it's
Yes.
gonna. I think it again phenomenal. I think it's gonna
Agreed.
explode. This podcast will keep going. This was a great night tonight. I mean, the great combo.
I like it.
The Viking wisdom, my man. You got a ton of it, and I really look forward to it. And you've always been a positive influence. Big worm of Wormfest, like what the early '80s or something. I mean, no, it seems like it was that long ago, but you know how to have a good time. You got good people all around you. And I think the idea is going to explode.
One of the biggest thing you can do is sometimes in your circle of friends, like every once in a while you look around, and just because somebody's miserable, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to get rid of them.
Right.
You probably need to have a conversation with them.
Jeremy, that right there is what I've had to change about myself. Legit, what you just said right there.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. It's looking deeper into the people that are being a dick.
People around you, like sometimes there's something up. Like we were talking earlier, like the mental health issues, things like that. Like sometimes people are just not having an okay time, and like they could just be reaching out. So.
Yep, I agree. I agree 100%, man. I'm glad you recognize that. That's one thing I've definitely want to change about myself. Looking at people, not so much judging them, because I don't judge people, but looking more into why someone's angry or why they're going through what they're going. Don't push it, but you keep an eye open for it, and don't necessarily walk away from it.
Yes.
No one likes to be abandoned, right?
No.
People love having sport, so give more of it this year. I think that's our goal.
So what are we at? Hour something at this point in time?
Yeah, we're good, man. We can keep going, but
I was supposed to, this is the part where I want to tell everybody out there, like, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. And yes, exactly. That's the preface of the whole entire thing. Is really, honestly, in the long run, there's no need to be a dick.
I'm laughing, but I'm so serious. Like,
oh yeah, man. We get it. We're gonna bring more of it to you guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. If anyone does, I'm sure there'll be plenty.
I didn't post "Don't Be a Dick" today because this is going to be the post for today, and once a week I'm going to try and have like a video per se, maybe two if this becomes a thing, and then we'll go from there. But like,
Love it.
on the rest of the days, I'm gonna try and like have my post like even I guess I was at the casino in fucking Connecticut. Like, can't miss it. Do it.
You guys will see all of it. We're gonna be consistent. We're happy this year. We hope to just bring you guys some laughs, some positivity, right? If we get that accomplished, we're successful. So, Big Worm, Don't Be a Dick
Thanks, man.
podcast. It's gonna be here. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all our sponsors. The Wolf, shout out the Solar Wolf.
Yes, they
got,
they help keep me sane as well.
And they keep you guys powered with the fucking sun. So let's go. So we got Shamrock, always here for you guys. Rivera Promotions. Emily's Interiors, a good friend of mine, Joe Cupsis. I mean, I think you pretty much know every single friend that I do, Facebook wise. So
I don't know that many people. People keep telling me I know a lot of people. I don't know where they get that from.
Wormfest, baby. You did work years ago. They still remember you. So it'll never die. Goonies never die, right? We love it. Jeremy, thank you so much, my man. Viking Wisdom.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Don't Be a Dick podcast. It's going to be a great year, guys. Stay tuned. Much love.